going on, dudes and dudettes? Looking white as ever with that freaking light on. But yes, offensive lineman for USC, Maximus Gibbs, the freshman. He's been like a way backup offensive lineman because he came late in the summer. But just because of his size, I mean, I'm surprised he was even able to move as much as he does as an offensive lineman. He really plays guard because he can't really play tackle, but I mean, he's 6'6", around there, 300 plus pounds. And apparently he lost like about 50 or 60 pounds to still get in more shape to be an offensive lineman, but he's still a gigantic human, and they kind of figured, well, USC is struggling on the defensive side at the defensive tackle spot where usually large humans play to plug up the middle, so linebackers have to go around. So they're going to be trying him out because at practice, a lot of the reporters have seen him play in that position. So we'll see if it's going to be an official change. We'll see how it works out up there in Colorado, which they should win, like I've been saying, but you never know. Colorado somehow always ends up playing as good, which sucks. Then, yes, Gasol, ex-Laker champion, is supposedly set to retire soon. Don't know when the announcement is coming. Even though he hasn't been playing in the NBA the past couple years, he is playing in Spain for like their national team and probably a team out there. So yeah, officially retiring. Good luck to you, Powell. And they've asked on ESPN should the that these 6 teams need new jerseys, and the Anaheim Ducks were part of it. I've always said whenever they made the change, like in 2007, that I never liked the idea of the jersey or whatever was on it. At first, I didn't even understand that it was like a duck's foot. Like, I never understand that in the shape of a D, but it did bring them their one and only championship that first year. But ever since then, it's been pretty much bad luck in my opinion. I always think they should go back to the old duck logo emblem, and they've kind of brought it back here and there on some jersey nights, but I wish it was more of a consistent thing. But as far as like new jerseys, I'd rather them just bring back the old ones more instead of like creating some type of new one, because I think they tried to mix like old and new like either a couple months ago or a year ago, and it really wasn't that good in my opinion. So just stick with what works, what's good. You know, that's all you gotta do to make at least me happy. And then yes, two of the rookies for the Chargers, their first round picks, Rashawn Slater and Asante Samuel Jr., are really playing very well at the start of this season. Even the cornerback Asante Samuel Jr. got, I believe it was Defensive Player of the Month for rookies. It's pretty cool. I think he has like 2 or 3 interceptions, so that's nice to see that a guy that I've liked for at least a couple years, they were able to pick him, and he's showing out for them with a lot of good stats, so that's good. At least he's one of the top guys. But then also Rashawn Slater, as of right now, hasn't given up a sack on his side, and even ESPN has him ranked as the top rookie so far. And it's tough for offensive linemen to win, like, you know, rookies of the year or offensive rookie of the year, even that, which would suck. But I mean, if you can go a whole season in the NFL without a sack as a rookie, I think you probably deserve it. I don't think that's going to happen because it's eventually going to happen where he gives up a couple sacks. It happens to everybody. But yeah, I'm definitely glad that they're both getting their recognition and, you know, just more spotlight, because they definitely deserve it. They've been, you know, really hard workers, haven't been a-holes about anything or thinking they deserve all this stuff. They worked hard for their starting positions, so they definitely deserve it, like I said. And another quick mock draft that happened, I believe it was Pro Football Focus, I'm not 100% sure, but the guys did change a lot. Drake Jackson went all the way up to number 5 to the Atlanta Falcons, and that's pretty crazy that he jumped up that high, even though ever since the other mock drafts, he's probably only got 1 extra sack and that's it. But yeah, I think because if this is PFF, they're based more on projection of numbers, which is correct. Excuse me, sorry, dry throat again. But it's crazy that they go off of analytics more than what the team needs at times. But At number 19, so they say the Chargers at least did a little bit better than that other mock draft, but I don't like that they're gonna spend a first round pick on a tight end, especially a guy from Texas A&M named Jalen Weidemeyer. He's okay. I would prefer him in like the second or third round. I don't know how good of a blocker he is, but you know, offensively he's pretty good. I just don't think you need to spend a first round pick on a tight end. Atlanta did it last year on what is considered the top tight end prospect in the last 10 years, and Kyle Pitts at number 4 even, and even he's been struggling and not getting a lot of stuff. They're treating him as if he's like a number 1 guy and double teaming him, but that's why. So I don't know, I wouldn't spend that. I think they need a little bit more help on defense, maybe even a regular wide receiver I would prefer, but yeah. And at number 22, speaking of wide receiver / tight end, to the Titans, Drake London from USC goes there. Another great spot for him. They lost a lot of their tight ends, and they have a lot of short wide receivers too. So at 6'5", he'd definitely help them out. Like I said, the Chargers should probably go for him, but he does get injured quite a bit, has a lot of knick-knack injuries, so I don't know. I don't think they should, really. Then miscellaneous news, yes, Angels and Airways recently did a Zoom interview with Grammy.com, which is pretty crazy because I don't know if that means that they will be up for a Grammy whenever it comes along, or if they're just getting some recognition from a place like that. But I've also poo-pooed the idea of the Grammys, because even when it comes to the rock albums, 4 out of the 5 or 5 out of the 6, or mostly all the candidates, most of them aren't even true rock bands. Like, is it just considered a rock band or a rock song if you have a guitar in it? Like, that's just ridiculous to me. But it is kind of cool if they do get nominated, at least, so that you can put that on your CDs later in the future. But yeah, it was an alright interview, I guess. And to finish off with some of the bigger news, so yes, this headline says that Anthony Lynn had not been approached, or wasn't, hasn't really shown a lot of interest in the USC job. Obviously, Anthony Lynn is the ex-head coach of the Chargers, who's with Detroit, as I mentioned in the last video. But as of yesterday, I don't know why I didn't see this article again, but according to this article, a couple of the boosters and board trust members, or whatever they call them, at USC actually contacted Coach Lynn, like themselves, and asked if he would be interested in the job, which he inevitably said yes, he was. I know they want to try to get this thing done right away, so they have a coach that can come in and start working on recruiting, but I don't think he would leave an NFL job right this second, even though his team is 0-3. Why he would leave, I don't know. It's just, I would have preferred them to go after a guy who isn't coaching right now, or who just recently got fired, maybe even. But I don't know. I don't want to wait for a coordinator when he's doing a crappy job in the NFL, not having his team score enough points, as usual, like it was for the Chargers when you have a struggling team. But I don't know if he could really galvanize a whole group of 80+ young adults and bring them to victory. I know Colin Cowherd of Fox Sports has mentioned this idea a lot too. I don't know if it's just because he likes Anthony Lynn, or they had a lot of dinners together and it's a famous person, but yeah, I don't know. I just don't think it's the right direction. You need to shoot more for the stars of a better coach, better individual, because he came to LA once and it sucked for him, so I don't think you should do it again. Yeah, see if he's interested, do more interviews, but don't jump the gun so quickly for the first person that's gonna say yes, unless they are the right person. So yes, thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe, comment down below, let me know what y'all think. Have a great day. USC plays tomorrow, Chargers play Monday, so I might have a video Tuesday. Peace. Fight on.